Hi folks, welcome to Crisco's Corner. Unfiltered commentary. And not your truth, the real truth. Please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thank you for your support. Hi folks. Governor DeSantis rips corporate hypocrites for opposing voter integrity bills while dealing with dictators. Yeah, maybe the man's got a point. Let's read on. Florida Republican Governor Ron DeSantis ripped corporations for weighing in against voting integrity legislation while cultivating commercial ties with totalitarian dictatorships. DeSantis called corporations hypocrites for saying that you can't have a photo ID in Georgia, yet at the same time doing business with the Chinese Communist Party and fighting against legislation targeting slave labor in China. Well, yeah, the man's got kind of a point. Major League Baseball is hobnobbed with the Castro regime in Cuba, DeSantis said, even as it pulled its 2021 All-Star game out of Atlanta, purportedly protest of election reform, say that 3 times fast, reform legislation recently enacted by Georgia Republican governor and legislature. The governor wondered aloud whether the league would prevent the Atlanta Braves from playing at home in the playoffs. Oh, yeah, let's see if they do. This whole thing is backfired on them spectacularly, I might add. And I'm glad. I feel bad for all the vast majority of people that are going to lose out money-wise, mostly minorities, by the All-Star game being pulled. Let's read on. You have an aggressive, woke, ideological left that is taking over corporations who adopt fact-free narratives that big tech amplifies, DeSantis said. Yeah, that's the thing. All cable media, well, I shouldn't say all, 90% of cable media, all of social media, and the progressives, leftists, and what's left of the Democrats are all now the same party. They're not just coordinating and cooperating together. They have fused together. That big tech amplifies, DeSantis said. This is not the way, this is the way we want this done in Florida. When you politicize every aspect of our lives, the governor said, that exasperates and continues to polarization and division. Yeah, I mean, this is a really short article, but I think this is worth talking about. It's culture. Major League Baseball, the All-Star game, it's culture. And who cares about culture? You like it or you don't. But the problem is, though, as Mr. Breitbart said before he passed away, rest his soul, that politics is downstream from culture. And he's right. It's one of the most brilliant political statements ever made. And what's happening is now a lot of these corporations, they're multinationals anyway. And I don't have a problem with corporations make tons of money. I really don't care. God bless them. God bless them. But what they're doing is they're injecting their influence in our election process, in our governmental process. Now, do they have a stake in what goes on government-wise in this country? You bet. Don't have a problem with that. You want to lobby like anybody else for your interest, you can. I think maybe you shove too much cash certain ways, but that's the way the game has always been played since John D. Rockefeller. So, but what we're talking about now is something different. We're talking about corporate, multinational corporation heads changing culture. It's not about making money anymore. And I wonder what their long-term strategy is, because these huge corporations, multinational and otherwise, in the end, are going to lose by promoting the leftists and the progressives that they help. In the end. What is the point of having products and services to sell to American people, and even people worldwide for that matter, if they don't have any money anymore? or the taxes are so high over a socialist state. It makes no sense. It makes zero sense at all. It's kind of like what Japan did for a while when Donald Trump was sounding the alarm bell back then, back in the 70s and 80s. So at least the man's been consistent that Japan was ripping us off. And everybody said, why in the world would Japan want to destroy economically their biggest customer? I had a store for 23 years. I just recently sold it. I'm packing it up. I'm right in the middle of moving everything out of it. That would have been like taking my 5 biggest customers that spent the most money and somehow manipulated so they lost their jobs. What the hell would I do that for? It's just really dumb. I don't see the corporation strategy long term. I really don't. The only thing I can think of is this, that the woke crowd, progressive leftist knuckleheads, for lack of a better term, will go after them if they don't denounce things they don't like first. There's Coca-Cola. We're against the ridiculous suppression of voting in Georgia. They could probably care less. And by the way, for those that don't know, their headquarters is in Georgia. That's where Coke was invented. The thing of it is, though, why would they do that? Aren't they afraid of losing business? Well, the sad reality is, and a good reality at the same time, is that conservative people, as a rule, aren't big on boycotts. Very rarely will you hear a conservative person call a legitimate boycott against a company. But you hear it from the left and the progressives every other day, sometimes multiple times a day. Don't go there, boycott this, boycott that. Basically, it's the cancel culture, but for corporations. So maybe they're trying to get ahead of the fact before they get blamed for being racist. They're going to claim that they're not racist, and we're going to show you how. I'm just wondering on the strategy. I really am. And now these weird diversity mantras and these corporations. I mean, they have a certain number of people of certain races and genders on boards of corporations and quotas being met. My God. This is racism 101. You have 17% black people in this state. You have to have 17% on your board of directors. It's insane. Hey, how about this? How about we take the Los Angeles Lakers, my basketball team. Now, I haven't really followed basketball that closely in years. College is way better, but I haven't followed that in a while either. I'm a hockey and football guy. But anyway, how about this? How about we have in L.A. County, I'm just guessing now, these are numbers I'm throwing in my head, 22% of people in L.A. County are black. 35% are Hispanic. Well, say 38 to make it 60. And 40% are mixed or white. So that means starting next week, where's the CEO and the owners of the LA Lakers? We have to make sure that the LA Lakers have 38% Hispanics on their team. And we can have 20-odd% blacks on their team and the rest mixed race and white. But why aren't they doing it? Why aren't they boycotting the Lakers? Why aren't they boycotting all the NBA teams? They're a higher percent black than the national average. Where's all the Hispanic players? Where are they? There's a disproportionate amount of white people. Lower. Why aren't they raising hell with that? We can go on and on and on. How about the NHL? There's too many white people. This is what's coming, folks. You think you laugh. This is what's coming. There's only 1 or 2 black racers in NASCAR, and that's bad and blah, blah, blah. But we have upwards of 60, sometimes 70% blacks in the NBA, and we get this. They really don't care about helping black and brown people. They don't at all. This is a way of them getting power and control. This is what this is all about. And I'm no tinfoil hat nut bar, like QAnon, conspiracy theorist. The Democrats have been using race and sex as weapons for decades. And they've honed their craft so precisely now that they're embedded like a virus at every part of our culture. Through all of academia, all of high school, all of middle school, now elementary school, all the universities, invading huge, large corporations. That virus is infesting their HR departments and their board of directors. It's infesting all of sports, all of the movie industry, all of it, the theater, you name it. Name a part of our culture that's any decent size and influence, television. They're in it. They're in everything. And they're slowly but surely cementing themselves in to be in power for the next generation plus. They know exactly what they're doing. And I think sometimes these corporations think, you know what? It's not in our best interest if Democrats control our economy. But if they do, and they look like they're going to be, if they keep on doing what they're doing, and normal everyday Americans don't stand up and say no, if they're going to be here for the next 20, 30 years, let's make peace with them now. But little they know, they always, always, always turn on each other, and then they turn on you. This is just an all-star game. Who gives a damn? The only people that really affect are the people in the area that were going to make a lot of money, mostly minorities. Now they're getting screwed over. This is all about controlling the culture. Politics is downstream from culture. They control the culture. It's slowly now invaded. It's not too late, but it's getting close. I see some signs that maybe the tide is turning. I just watched The Darkest Hour the other night. It's about Winston Churchill at the beginning of World War II. They were finished. They're almost surrendered. They're going to vie for peace through Italy. And even Churchill is determined that the bad man that he was, he would never give in, lost his confidence in his faith. And at the last minute, he changed his mind and said, no, I'm not suing for peace. We'll fight on the beaches, and the famous speech. It looks really bad right now for middle America, conservatives, and just everyday working people. It looks like the populists, the progressives, and the leftists are winning, and they are. But I think we're at a point now in the next 6 months to a year, if we don't at least stop, push the tide back a little, it's going to be too late. And those of you that hate Donald Trump or just shake your head at him and walk away, he and his allies and the people that rally with him are going to be key to stopping this. Whether you like Donald Trump or not, he finally brought out what these people are truly like. Power hungry and whacked. That's a fact. That's why all the progressive social media and cable news networks are dying because he's gone. I'm carrying on a little bit about something as small as corporate hypocrites because this is all tied in. This is all tied in. Ron DeSantis in Florida is standing up. Governor Abbott in Texas is standing up. These people are starting to stand up. Governor Abbott in Texas, that's not a 50-50 state, but it's close enough, and he says no. People are starting to fight back in local municipalities and in state government. I'm very encouraged. I think it's long, long overdue. But those of you out there, just regular people, what can I do? I'm not governor. I'm not a senator. I'm not a congressman. Get hold of your local Republican Party. Ask how you can help. Local races, dog catcher even, city council, county executive, county commissioner, Congress. In a year, the congressional races are really going to ramp up. And that's when the war really is going to start. Start getting involved, helping now. And recruit as many people as you can. Start at the grassroots level. But just don't sit by and complain. Because we can't afford to let that happen. This isn't about power and control. It's about freedom. It's about the Bill of Rights. It's about the future of this country. And it's about the future the founders set up for us. So my granddaughter won't look back 50 years from now and say, what was wrong with Grandpa and his people? I don't want her to say that. I want her to say he was proud of what we did and how we saved this country from going to the progressives and the leftists. I know it sounds long-winded. I've gone on, but this is really important. We're at war. We don't bring a knife to a gunfight anymore. Get yourself involved locally, especially in congressional districts that are 50-50. Go see the Republican chairman of your county and see, how can I help? Knock on doors, pass out flyers, make phone calls. It isn't just about giving money. You can give your time, which is more valuable than money in many cases. Get involved. I ran for public office here in upstate New York 5 times and helped on tons of campaigns. Now's the time to get the army rolling. We are the silent majority. In fact, I wear my hat once in a while. It says the silent majority. We are. It's time not to be silent anymore. And until the next time, folks, goodbye and good luck.